Hi, my name's Mark Stallard. Welcome to Little Green Man. Today I'm going to talk about Bill 24. It's a piece of omnibus legislation, an omnibus bill put forward by the Progressive Conservative Party, the party in power. They have a majority, so there's little chance that any bill they put forward that they really want to go through is going to go through. It cannot be blocked. So the Red Tape Reduction and Government Efficiency Act, I've read it many times, read it several times and gone through it over and over again here. And I can tell you that there's absolutely nothing in this bill at all to demonstrate efficiencies with regards to red tape. None whatsoever. There are cuts, though, that offer much needed protections for Manitoba. So there are going to be some anti-environmental laws in here. I think that's going to hurt the environment, and it will hurt you potentially as citizens of Manitoba. So this is actually, maybe it's efficiencies to hurt you and the environment. Maybe that's where the efficiencies are. So if there are no efficiencies in the red tape, what is the point of this bill? Well, there's one thing in here that kind of struck me, stood out, and it jumped and went, whoa, hang on a minute. Is the curious point of removing the minister from being in control and having points of decision making in the Labour Relations Act and the Consumer Protections Act, and they're replacing him with a director. Instead of having an elected official overseeing these areas, they're going to have a director involved. So not an elected official, an assigned civil servant is going to be overseeing these things. Now, particularly with the Consumer Protection Act, when you look in that, it actually involves the payday loans is in there, and it is going to end up, no doubt, making those loans being far more a higher interest, to make it really, really difficult for individuals, working people, to pay them back. I mean, people are taking out these loans because they're having a hard time, and now you're going to make that time even harder by increasing that interest. So why then would they want to take out the minister? So something simple called plausible deniability. It wasn't us, it wasn't the party, it wasn't the government, it was that civil servant over there. And it's plausible deniability. It wasn't us, even though they put the law in place, and the result of these laws, or lack of regulation in these areas that hurt people and that will hurt the environment, it's not our fault, it's the civil servant. See how that works? So there's another thing too, that if this is about just simply reducing red tape, then why on earth would they be repealing, and they are repealing, the Public-Private Partnership, Transparency and Accountability Act? What is there in that red tape that's slowing anybody down? There's nothing there. This is, now if you're not sure of what public-private partnership is, it's P3. It's where public money and private money are mixed together, so effectively one step closer to privatising public services. So they want to privatise schools. They've made that clear earlier this year. I've done a video about that, and there'll be a link around here somewhere, and you can look at that and review my thoughts on that as well. But they also are looking at privatising healthcare. They're desperate to privatise the healthcare. And they're realizing that running government, it actually costs money, and it's not just about cut, we can make it work. No, they are looking at raising money through either a healthcare premium, or they're going to raise or they're going to keep the PST up. I thought that maybe that's just why they're talking about the healthcare premium. They just want to keep the PST going. But why on earth would you want to get rid of an act that encourages transparency and accountability in a public-private partnership? Corporations taking public money and spending it and making a profit on it, but we're not allowed to see what's going on behind the scenes. That's despicable. It really is. That's absolutely nothing to do with efficiency and red tape at all. Now, talking about private-public partnerships, in 2010, Nova Scotia's Auditor General said that the province could have saved $52 million if it had built the schools the traditional way and not used the P3 model. So that's a lot of money. You know what? We can say that this law is, if it's not to make corporations and the rich people that own them richer, it's certainly going to make the people that run these schools $52 million. Certainly they'll be rich afterwards, and it'll be on public money. And there are lots of problems with P3. Again, check out my video on that. Now there's another part of this law as well, where they're removing the requirement to provide periodic reports on Manitoba's ecological resources. Why would you not want to know what's going on in the ecology of Manitoba? Why would you not want to know how your wildlife are doing and how the air is doing, how the quality of water, all these good things that we need to live and to have a nice, beautiful province, so to keep it beautiful? Why would you get rid of those reports? Wouldn't you want to know ahead of time so that you can do something about it and prevent the destruction of our province? And there's also another thing too about restricting the laws on hog farming. That there's a scientific studies. David Schindler, and Dr. Peter Levitt and others have clearly demonstrated that the hog industry has been a significant factor in the toxic algal blooms in Lake Winnipeg. No reports, but you can do more and more hog farming now under this law. So it doesn't actually cut red tape, it just makes you less safe. And now with what we know about climate change, the cuts to regulation that are needed to protect the environment is just insane. Why would you do that? Well, because they continue cuts to the regulations that keep people safe. I mean, really, that's an obscenity. And at the end of this, really, I think that there's only one real goal in this, is to make private companies make a profit, regardless of the harm it does to the people and the environment. The P3 is clear on that. That they don't want to protect the working people who are having a hard time making ends meet. So payday loans, interests are going to go through the roof. Rich people are going to get richer on the backs of people who are already having a hard time. That there's no accountability. This takes away any accountability from the government, taking it off the backs of the responsibility off the backs of the elected officials, and put it on civil servants. Wasn't me, wasn't my party. You can't see what we're doing. We can do what we want. Ha 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 ha. And you've got no evidence to the contrary until it's too late. So what I say then is let's call this bill what it is. It's not about red tape reduction at all. Let's call it what it really is. The Making Manitoba Unsafe for Manitobans and Government Unaccountability Act. Little Green Man.